Hello, I'm Mike Rubel, and this is a continuation of a previous video that I used to express my feelings about catharsis in writing. Catharsis being a way to generate a renewal or recharge yourself psychologically. And I went through some of the examples of it, both with Aristotle and with the Freudian use of the method to get people to, through catharsis, rid themselves of some traumatic event that occurred in their life. Many of us have those traumatic events. I use traumatic a lot because that's what they are. There's something that occurred that has burnt a scar in our mind, in our psyche, that tend to be deeply hidden. Men tend to do that more so than women. Women like to talk out some of these things amongst themselves, amongst good friends, and where men don't do that. Um, Most men just don't discuss things. I mean, it's, how was your year last year? And you would say, oh, it was fine. That's it. End of conversation. Um, in catharsis, what I want to do is be able to generally, the best way of doing it is to write it down. Now, writing can take the form of just pen and ink, and or you can talk to your computer if you want to. It'll dictate the words. The voice recognition software in computers is at a level today that you can pretty much say anything to it and it will write it down. It doesn't punctuate it or make paragraphs, but basically, you don't need to be a 100-word a minute typist to be able to write something down. But write it down, you should. And I'll share with you an example in my own family how a traumatic event in my father's life affected who he was his entire life. He was born in 1908. His mother was unwed, and in those days, your child was a bastard. And it still is a term that's used today. However, in 1908, it's a whole different thing. It did not have the same significance as it does today, where you're not called bastards. You're just a child out of wedlock, and people do it because they want to have a child. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think everyone needs to have children to make part of their life complete if that's what they want to do. But in his case, his mother never told him who his father was. He was born in Salina, Illinois, Salina County, and we think that the father's name was V.V. Palmer, whatever V.V. stands for, but he never could get his mother to tell him. And that affected him because he felt inferior to other people. He felt like he was a bastard. He was something that was less than other people. My father was a very talented man. He was a great father. He and I worked on a cattle ranch together, and we did hay and we did rice, and we worked hand in hand in many events. He helped me in baseball. He helped me, coached me. He did a lot of things that fathers are supposed to do. He was a great guy. But in the subliminal level, he had this deep seated feeling that he was inferior, and that affected him deeply. Had he written it down and explained it to us, it would have brought that to the conscious level for himself, that perhaps would have made him feel differently. It affected his business career, it affected his relationships with my mother and his relationships with his children. Not that he was bad to us, but it had this relationship that could have been better had he written these things down and expressed them, and perhaps even to his mother, who would have relented and told him who his father was. And so those are the kind of things that affect people and who they are and what they do and how they react to people. So everybody should look into their psyche if you can and just pull up those things, those dark secrets that are part of who you are, who've made you a part of how you react to people, both friends and family, and write it down and either express that to them in the form of a letter or in the form of letting them read it and somehow or another express to them what makes you who you are. And by doing so, it takes that traumatic event out of your dark, deep recesses of your mind, brings it to the forefront, and cleanses you and renews you in a regenerative way to perhaps be a better person, or to at least explain to other people why you are the way you are. So that's catharsis in writing. And I hope you all do it. It's really important. It's important to you, and it's important to those you love. So God bless you all, and I look forward to seeing all of you respond and do something that helps you all in your life. God bless.